one of the things that has come up in a major way is the challenges of insurance. We know that our whole system is facing a real inflection point, and there's so many layers to this. But I want to say that I just appreciate the engagement of the insurance commissioner. I've been hearing from so many constituents who've had challenges with insurance. We've passed those claims on to the insurance commissioner, and nearly every single time they're able to get the issue resolved. And so I appreciate the work of his department. And we just encourage constituents who are having challenges with insurance to reach out to us, and we'll do whatever we can to engage their office and get help. One of the many things that came up in the course of our many town halls and meetings with constituents was the fact that for so many people, they've been paying for contents coverage, where they supposedly they're going to get all the contents that they lost in their home that got burnt to a crisp covered under this insurance plan that they've been paying for years. And yet, and yes, many insurance companies have said, you know what, we're going to pay you right up to the contents coverage. But there have been some that have foot dragged. And I have to say, when you're going through the process of having lost your home, you're trying to figure out where to relocate, where to send your kid to school, where to do about your business, how to deal with all the madness associated with a relocation and having lost your home. The last thing you need to do is come up with an itemized list of every single item that you lost your home just to get the coverage that you've been paying for years in many cases. And so I've been working with the Insurance Commissioner's Office on SB 495, which is the Eliminate the List Act, which will say you will get cut if you lose everything, if you have complete loss of your home. We're going to ask your insurer to pay for the full contents coverage that you have been paying for. And so I want to thank the insurance commissioner for his partnership on this really important effort and for all the work he's doing to ensure that the insurers are covering folks during this very difficult time. And I'd like to ask him to make a few remarks. Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara.
Thank you, Senator Allen, and thank you, Mayor Bass, Senator Perez, and everybody for being here today. As we gather, because we gather here today, not only to mark the 100 days, but because Californians and wildfire survivors deserve decisive action. People want to rebuild with dignity and fairness, and it is our responsibility to deliver those results that reflect their strength and their determination. Our top priority at the department after every catastrophic event is to help people recover quickly and comprehensively, and more importantly, on their own terms. Since the fires began, I have been actively engaged in the affected communities, ensuring that insurance companies fulfill their claims promptly and full. Here's what we've accomplished in the past 100 days. We provided one-on-one assistance to over 10,000 wildfire survivors. We organized and conducted 4 intensive weekend insurance workshops where we facilitated meetings with insurance companies, enabling many survivors to obtain their claim checks on site. We staffed disaster recovery centers in Altadena and at UCLA, and we extended our hotline hours to include our weekends to cover as many survivors as possible. One of the key lessons I've learned from every single wildfire, this is my 115th catastrophic wildfire across California, is the importance to meet people where they are, answering their questions and expediting their claims as quickly as possible. We will continue to do this now and as we enter California's wildfire season this summer. Misinformation spreads rapidly after disasters, confusing survivors and hindering recovery. That is why, for the first time ever in California's history, I launched the first public claims tracker to provide clear information and hold insurance companies accountable for prompt claims payment. The public can find our claims tracker at insurance.ca.gov. Let me share with you the latest data. There has been close to 38,000 claims filed. 27,000 of them are partially paid, with $12.1 billion paid to date. We will continue to update these figures as the rebuilding process begins and continues. It is also important to note that the market is responding as it should after a disaster, and we will continue to monitor to make sure it does accordingly. As you can see, the claims are being processed, claims are being paid out, and I've also obtained the support of global reinsurance companies to continue to support our LA survivors. Survivors need our support to tackle the challenges we face in the field and throughout the state. I am sponsoring a comprehensive legislative package based on our years of insurance town halls held in every single county in California. This package aims at fixing our broken system. It expedites payments to survivors, strengthen our consumer protections, and implement the most significant regulatory reforms to our insurance market in 30 years. I am grateful to our legislative leadership and to our local champions like Senator Allen and Senator Perez for joining me in advancing these essential reforms. Our efforts will will ensure that individuals receive their payments fully, fairly, and promptly, while also protecting them from losing their insurance and falling prey to scams. For 4 months now, on the onset of these fires, my mission continues to be the same: aiding recovering efforts while preparing for future wildfires. We must ensure that insurance companies remain stable, expand their footprint in our state, and remain solvent to further protect consumers. This legislative package and budget priorities align with these goals and will enhance our strategy to better prepare us for future catastrophes. As Senator Allen said, SB 495, the Eliminate the List Act. On February 6th, I issued a notice to all residential property insurance companies in California, urging them to waive the detailed inventory requirements. Most insurers responded positively, offering at least 75% of contents coverage without requiring an itemization, with some even agreeing to 100%. While this action is voluntary for insurers, after these LA fires, we need to ensure that everyone pays 100% of their contents coverage without a detailed inventory list. Survivors who have just endured the trauma of a wildfire should not be re-traumatized by having them complete a ridiculous list. SB 495 fast tracks the recovery process by providing policyholders with the coverage they deserve sooner, allowing them to focus on the larger task of rebuilding their lives. After wildfires, state law provides homeowners with 1 year of protection against insurance non-renewals. However, this protection does not extend to our commercial properties, including our small businesses and affordable housing projects. This is a significant gap that we need to close immediately, which is why I'm sponsoring SB 547, the Business Insurance Protection Act, alongside Senator Perez and Rubio. This bill aims to extend the existing protections to multifamily housing, condominiums, homeowners associations, businesses, nonprofits, to ensure that they're not dropped by their insurers when they need the support the most. One more bill that I want to highlight. Currently, public adjusters can charge unlimited fees, which may ultimately diminish the funds available for consumers to rebuild their homes and their lives. To address this issue, I am sponsoring AB 597, introduced by Assemblymember Harabedian. This legislation aims to prohibit price gouging to ensure that consumers receive the maximum funds from their claim. The proposal includes a 15% cap on public adjuster fees and prohibits charging fees on payments received from insurance companies before the contract is established with the public adjuster. We need to make sure that wildfire survivors keep the most of their claim as possible to help them rebuild. In closing, we must act with urgency and purpose to protect consumers in our market, continue to implement important reforms to address the ongoing insurance crisis, and invest in wildfire recovery and mitigation. These can no longer just be mere suggestions. We cannot afford to find ourselves responding to another fire in 30, 10, or 5 years like those that devastated these exact same areas in 1993. Clearly, we didn't learn our lesson then. All of us standing here are committed to ensuring that if fires come, we need to be more resilient and better protected to save lives and properties. We know that mitigation and hardening work. We've all seen the fire-hardened homes in the Palisades and the one home that was left standing in the Lahaina fire. We must take bold political actions to address land use issues, establish community-wide mitigation standards, and promote nature-based solutions, and of course, fire hardening. If we do not act, we will face this crisis again, making it impossible to create an affordable and accessible insurance market for every Angelino. This is a crucial moment. Californians are counting on us to lead, and to lead with clarity and conviction. And I will continue to advocate for fair coverage, fast recovery, and a more resilient insurance system. Let's move forward together, and thank you for your time.